What inspired the stash?
O-line. This wasn't really a choice.
Why was it not a choice?
Whatever my center asked me to do, I'm going to try to do. Him and Dave Edwards were going stash only. So I decided they asked me to join them, so I did.
When's Kearns joining?
Kevin Kearns, does he have? Yeah, he could probably do it. But he'd probably have to dye it just a little darker so you could see it, but he could do it. Kevin Kearns.
Hey Josh, a lot of 11-11 today. The defense had an edge on a couple of those. Is it good work overall?
Yeah, real good work. Flying around, making plays, offense and defense. You know, the cliche iron sharpens iron, so that's what we're doing. And, it's good to see the boys out there competing. Just trying to work on things, figure out what we can and can't do. This is the time to do it right now.
Josh, it was kind of a scary situation what Alec went through last week. Knowing that he's obviously come through it and is okay, I'm sure it's a relief. But what did you make of that situation, and just maybe what have you made of his training camp overall?
Well, I mean, the dude's a warrior. Fought through that throughout the practice. Ended up, everyone knows, I think, went to the hospital, and he was there for walkthrough a few hours later. So didn't miss a beat. Was there for practice the next day. Just a guy that's really tough. He's dependable. He does all the little things the right way. He's one of the dirty guys that, not dirty, but nastier guys that we got on offense that you love to have. One of those guys that just grinds, and he's not afraid to stick up for his teammates. And again, he does the little things the right way. So, one, unfortunate situation. Two, happy to see him get out of it okay and be on the practice field the next day. He's a warrior.
As a fellow trash talker, what do you make of some of his chirps at guys?
So Alex?
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good. I won't say what he says, but he's pretty good.
Another scary situation with Andy Isabella on Monday. Thankfully, he was out there today. You reacted strongly to that situation. Just why did you feel the need to speak up after that little skirmish?
Just standing up for guys, and we'll keep the rest in-house.
Josh, how would you evaluate the training camp and just the off-season that Mitch Trubisky has had now being in his second time around with this team?
Yeah, it's been great. It's going to be great to have him back. Obviously, the last couple of years he's been elsewhere, and I've got such a good relationship with him off the field. I love him and Shane. They've been both working their tails off, getting in the playbook hard, and they've been going out there and making some real good plays. And it'll be fun to see them in action in the preseason. I'm not sure how much I'm playing, if I'm playing at all. Well, I guess we'll find out, but I know that they will be. So I'm very excited to go see them and see them perform at a high level.
Would you like to play in the preseason at all?
Yes and no. It doesn't really. I don't feel it makes a difference for me at this point in my career. So to get things rolling would be nice, but I understand not getting out there and making sure that we're being healthy and being protective. So again, it's a double-edged sword any way you look at it. So if I'm asked to play, I'll play, and if I'm told not to play, I won't play. So the competitive juices in me want to play, but I understand that week one we got some time.
I think people sitting at home would think you got to be in a game to get that. I don't know if they would know how competitive it can be just in the practice setting. Can you talk about that a little bit? I mean, it's not full tackle and your red jersey and all that. How you get what you need in the setting here as opposed to a game?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's eerily similar. Again, having the red jersey and knowing that guys aren't supposed to hit you. Feels pretty good to be back there, know that you can go through your reads at a quick pace, but understand that the whistle will be blown at some point. So that's the good side of it. Obviously, getting hit is a part of the game, and you can practice how you get hit. I know it sounds weird to say that, but just the way that you land, the way that you fall, the way that you take on hits is something that can be practiced and learned. And the first couple of weeks throughout the season, you're waking up after a game, and your neck and your body is sore than you've ever felt it because of just the amount of times that you've gotten hit. So making sure that, we can adjust for that, and you only get those reps in games.
How far is your and always look ahead to the next week. It's always, or the next whatever. At any point during camp, have you missed Stefon?
I mean, I think Steph's a great player, and what he brought to this team was special. So miss is I don't know if I'd say miss. He was a guy that was reliable. You can look to. He's going to have the juice each and every day. I'm sure he's bringing it over there in Houston. So definitely, you can't say that you don't miss that. But I am very happy with what we got going on here and how hard the guys have been working. And
How much more comfortable have you become getting to know the guys and knowing that no one's going to replace a Steph Diggs, but the numbers are there, and maybe the quantity can be replaced by more players. How much more comfortable?
Yeah, I mean, I'm very comfortable with the guys that we've brought in, and it's no secret. Steph was an All-Pro here, and he's got the stats to back it up. Each year he had 100+ catches and 1,000+ yards, and that's a heavy workload for someone to come and fill those shoes. And I understand that. The guys in that room understand that. But at the same time, the approach that these guys have had of working hard and putting their head down, and when they get the ball, they get the ball, and when they don't, they're doing everything they can to help somebody else get the ball and break them free. So, I guess we'll find out.
One of those guys is Marquez. How have you assessed him getting more comfortable in this offense over the course of the last 2 weeks, and how much has your rapport grown with him over the last 2 weeks?
Yeah, obviously a late start with him coming to OTAs fairly later than most guys, obviously signing him late in the process. Just getting to know him as a guy and feel his body language on the field. We've just been behind with the time, and I feel like this last couple of weeks we've really gotten into a groove and understand how he's thinking. He understands how I'm thinking. He's a very smart player. He's been in a lot of really good offenses in his past, and been around some really good quarterbacks. So he knows what he's talking about. He's got that experience, and it's good to lean on that.
Josh, would more preseason reps be helpful considering how many changes have been around you in the offense this year?
Reps are always helpful. Yeah.
Josh, with Khalil, what have you seen out of him this training camp, both on the field, but also kind of as he works with some of the receivers, since he knows you better, he's been talking about how he's trying to bring them on board and everything. What have you seen out of him from that perspective?
Yeah, there's a sense of relaxation with him, I think, going into his third year with us, and understanding his role. And he was asked to do a lot of stuff for us last year, and he took it in stride. So I'm very, very happy with where he's at. He's a baller. He makes plays. He does the little things the right way. He's easy to love, and he's a guy that gets along with everybody in this locker room, which makes you root for that guy even that much harder. But again, we saw the production that he had last year at the end of the season, and we're expecting nothing but the same from him.
Josh, Zach Davidson, Dan Coach's side.
Yeah. He's been making plays. He's been popping on film. And whatever way you look at it, he's making Bean's decisions very, very difficult. He's done enough where, guys in every room is like, man, this guy's out there making plays. He's a 6'6", 6'7" guy that can move and can go up and catch the ball. Again, another guy that is running to the football after the play, making the extra block, doing things the right way that, you'd love to have those types of guys on your team. So, it'll be a big preseason for him, and hopefully he can go out there and make some plays for us.
What are some things you've learned about the offense the last 2 or 3 weeks?
I feel like we've found a sense of identity in what we are and what we want to do with the football. We've got certain plays that we like more than others, and those are the plays that we're gonna run more than others. So just trusting what Joe's calling, just trying to be an extension of him on the field. And we got a lot of guys that are smart, that can play different positions, that you can move around, and there's a bit of unpredictability for us, and that's kind of fun as a quarterback.
You may dispute it, but Joe says this is your offense. This is Josh's offense. It's not my offense. It's Josh's offense. How do you react to that?
That's a lot of trust that he has in me, and I've got a lot of trust in him. And, the OC quarterback relationship is so crucial for a team. We have to be able to lean on each other in the good and the bad, understand what we're thinking at all times, really, when I'm on the field especially. The communication and the dialogue that we have has to be completely open, and it has to be without fear. And I think that we have that, and that's a really good feeling to have that with him. And just know that anything that I say, he's going to take it, and anything that he says, I'm going to take it. So there's no fear in that relationship, and I I hope it's only going to get better, and I have a feeling it will.
Josh, was the identity that you found what you thought it would be?
I think so. I think that the guys that we have in this locker room, very tough, smart and tough, and I applaud Bean for bringing in the guys in this room that we have, because guys go out there and we compete and we work hard, but at the end of the day, we're hanging out in the dorms. We're playing video games. We're playing board games. Guys are going out to eat with each other. Guys are getting along, and it really is a family-like atmosphere right now. And I know we've said that in the past, but I think there's a different vibe at this point with this team, and I think that's a really good thing.
Josh, how do you feel the offensive line has communicated so far with the change from Mitch to Connor?
I think it's been good. Again, obviously, the rapport that I have with Mitch for the last few years doesn't go unnoticed, and there's going to be some points where something that has come up that hasn't come up yet that me and Connor haven't talked about. So we're doing a good job of talking. He's coming to me asking questions, and I'm doing the same, and just making sure that we're on the same page at all times with the protections and with the run games and the mic points, things of that nature. So I think that it's in a good spot, but again, we're going to get better as we go.
Felt like maybe you were getting more comfortable with the snaps. Is that true?
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody's kind of got their own technique when it is snapping the ball. Some guys are left, center, right. Some guys pull it when they're moving left or move it right. So just understanding the play call and then going under there and adjusting accordingly. I know it's a small thing, but it's probably the biggest thing in each play is making sure you receive the ball correctly, and just making sure that we keep on working on that.
You spoke about Brandon Bean putting this roster together, being thankful for bringing in these types of players with so much roster turnover, and starting to see these pieces come in February and March, and then you install things in April and May, and now you're repping things in July, getting ready for the preseason. How cool is it to see it all come together as like a full picture right now?
Yeah, it's really cool, and I think our offensive staff has done a good job in terms of teaching what we're calling, making sure that we're disciplined and have all the information that we need to go out there and run the play to the best of its ability. And guys are taking that in stride. And again, we're making mistakes, but this is where you want to make them. You want to make them right now so you can learn from them. And I've made plenty of mistakes over the course of the last couple of weeks, and I'm happy about it. I'd rather make them now than in the game. So that's what our mindset is right now. Go out, kind of throw a bunch of things at the wall and see what sticks. And I think we found a few things that have stuck.
What's it like to play it in an offense where tight ends and running backs are such a big part of the targets compared to, say, earlier in your career?
Yeah, I think with the guys that we have, the ability that they possess, you talk about James, Dalton, Dawson, the things that they can do from the backfield, supply different looks. You can bring Curtis into the backfield, put Jimbo out wide, and if there's a linebacker on him, you like the matchup, you can take it. For the tight ends, if they put a linebacker, you probably have a little bit of speed on them. If they put a safety, you probably have a little bit of size on them. So just understanding what the defenses are going to do to try to adjust to it, and we got to make adjustments accordingly as well.